So here's the simplest way to improve your cycling performance. Simplest way, if you can ride for 5 hours in a week, just 5 hours. Goes for cycling and would also actually go for any cardiovascular activity. The way you would break it up is, of those 5 hours, you're gonna take 4 hours and do zone 2 training. Oh, it's boring, nobody wants to do zone 2 training, but it literally is creating mitochondria, fuel, energy bursting, creating machines, burning fat, improving your power output with a lower heart rate. That is just the tip of the iceberg of what the benefits of doing a full 45-minute, hour or more than an hour, continuous, sustained zone 2 endurance level effort. What that feels like is, let's say it's like conversation, like you can still have a conversation while doing it. If you're huffing and puffing, you're going too hard. But zone 2 should be fairly comfortable, at least for the first 20, 30 minutes or so. After a while, it does get to be uncomfortable. So I think there's this delusion that zone 2 is too easy to do. But I can tell you, after I've done a ton of zone 2 work, get on a stationary bike, stick it in zone 2 and stay there for an hour or an hour and 15 minutes. It is not comfortable after a while. But huge benefits. The best, absolute best use of time you could possibly do if your goal is to have improved performance. So there's 4 of your 5 hours. That fifth hour is going to be just the opposite end of the spectrum. That 5th hour is going to be high intensity intervals. And what that's going to feel like is hell in a handbasket. It's going to be 4 minutes of as hard as you can go. 4 minutes of as hard as you can go in a sustained effort level. So which means don't go out 10 on a 10 scale for the first 30 seconds and then blow up and then you don't have any energy for the next 3.5 minutes. It's stick a certain amount of energy, certain amount of effort, so it's probably 7 on a 10 scale to start with, and keep it there for a full 4 minutes. By the first minute, you may feel like not that big a deal. Second minute, not very comfortable. Third minute really starts to get uncomfortable, and that 4th minute feels like it takes an hour to do. But 4 minutes, hard effort. You are, as we say, probably in the pain cave that last minute at least. So you've just done a 4-minute block of high intensity. Call that zone 4, high zone 4. Then you take a 4-minute break. Then you do another 4 minutes of high intensity, then another 4-minute break, and try to squeeze out at least a third, if not a 4th set of that 4 minutes of high intensity. And you bet yourself a total of about 5 hours a week of training. And I promise you, if you're not doing this now, I promise you that within 4 weeks, definitely within 6, and absolutely within 8 weeks, you will be a different athlete. Your body is going to change so much if you can stick with that. So the challenge that I see with a lot of athletes is that it's tough, because it's like most people ride or run or whatnot in kind of the junk mile level of intensity, which is not quite hard enough to be zone 4, zone 5, not easy enough to be pure endurance. And so what happens is people ride arguably a lot, maybe even more, 5 hours, 6 hours, 8 hours a week, and they're at a plateau, never get any better, never get any stronger. People ask me why, I'm riding, so many hours per week, how come I'm not getting better? It's because basically you're doing a whole bunch of garbage. And if you're having fun doing it, don't change a thing. I mean, to be clear, like if you have a routine and you do group rides and you kind of do your own thing at your own pace and you love it, stick with it. Do not change. Do not have a structured training program. It's not for you. Only if you feel like you're riding, or only if you are entertaining the idea of, hey, I want to be a little bit faster, or I want to be more comfortable on group rides, I want to have, I don't want to get dropped, or I want to maybe be at the front group, then it is worth taking a chunk of time. Again, I would say at least commit a month. Do a month, 5 hours a week, 4 hours of zone 2 work consistently, keep that zone 2 honest, and then just 1 day a week. And then, I say it's an hour, but really, I knock out some of my high intensity stuff in 45 minutes. It's a 10-minute warm up, and then it's just 4 minutes on, 4 minutes off until I can't do them anymore. Then you're done. go back, take a rest day in there, a couple rest days, and certainly within 6 weeks, and definitely within 8 weeks, you are going to be a different athlete. So give that a try. If you want more detail on that, because there are some nuances that can really kind of make sure you're getting the most, really the most return for your effort, drop me a message. Happy to talk more about it, or talk about maybe what some of those nuances are. But it's worth the investment. If you want to ride better, as you can see, I got my whip. Going to do a little high intensity work today because I've already done my zone 2 work earlier in the week. So I'm doing my work, put in your work, and it's fun to feel fit. So go for a ride.